Hello everyone and happy Easter. Thanks for tuning in to GWV on your Easter Sunday. So this is today's second video update. We've released Solar Sunday, very exciting day at GWV because we only do a couple of Solar Sundays a year, just one or two. So it's Easter Sunday and also it's Solar Sunday at GWV. The Solar Sunday video is on the homepage here at GWV.com, and later on it will be placed on the Solar Cycle 24-25 updates page with a written summary going over everything that we discussed in the video. It's quite an interesting video actually. Got quite a lot on Solar Cycle 24, bringing an update with all of the trackers, and also a fair amount on Solar Cycle 25 actually. Some forecasts have now dropped for Solar Cycle 25, so quite an interesting watch. I'm going to get that on the Solar Cycle 24-25 updates page later on today. Hopefully, I'm really pushing it for updates today, so it may be that I can't get that onto the Solar Cycle 24-25 page until tomorrow. But I am hoping to do it for you this evening. So this is the second video. Just going to do a mini Sunday roundup for today's second video. We're not going to go into all the things that we usually look at with Sunday roundup, because as I say, we are pushing the time. But I wanted to give you an update in terms of the weather for the next week to 10 days. And we'll have a couple of features that we would normally have in the GWV Sunday roundup as well. So kind of like a mini GWV Sunday roundup. The competition is drawing to a close. So in around 4 hours or so, we're going to be closing the competition. 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. is when we're shutting the competition to new entrants. At that point, that's a cut-off, so you won't be able to enter after 5 p.m. This afternoon. Then we'll get all of the names together. We're going to draw one name out of the bag at random. That person, that winner, will be announced at 7 p.m. this evening. So if you would like to be with a chance of winning the Climate CM9088 temperature and humidity forecast station, worth £50 from GWV's and metcheck.co.uk weather instrumentation, then you're going to need to get your entry in very, very shortly. 5 o'clock is the cut-off. We won't be able to take any more entries after that. We've had well over 200 entrants, so a big thank you for the response once again. And good luck to all winners. All you need to do is to all entrants. All you need to do is email your name and local town or city to gazlovers@gmail.com or fill out the contact form on the competitions page, and you will be entered into the prize draw. Somebody will be winning this this evening. So somebody's going to be a winner on this Easter Sunday, and might as well be you. So get entering. But remember, 5 o'clock, that's when we'll be closing the competition. Winner announced at 7. We've also, coming up later on this afternoon, got the ECMWF Metro France Seasonal Model Roundup. That's all ready to go already. And I think we're going to try and fit in an update for the May Day Bank Holiday weekend tonight as well. So we really, really are pushing it for updates. But we never stop at GWV. Tomorrow, of course, we've got the historic weather video. More about that at the end of this video. Right, so let's get on with it then. We're going to start off with latest observations from XC Weather. So obviously we're going through a very, very warm spell at the moment. We see that several stations are already flashing away at 22 degrees on the south coast. For example, Hertzmann and also Shoreham Airport are at 22. That's 72 Fahrenheit. And over in Wales, we've got 22 degrees flashing away there. And even in the north of England, somewhere close to Newcastle, there we go. That's it just there. I can find the station again. There we are. Albemarle. That's near Newcastle. That flashing away at 22 degrees as well. Into the far north of Scotland, it's pretty warm. Aviemore is up to 19. These temperatures will rise further, so I think 24, 25 degrees for many places is possible by the middle of this afternoon. That's 77 Fahrenheit. One or two areas might go to 26. That's getting close to 80 Fahrenheit on the 21st of April. Truly remarkable. But then we have had even hotter Easters back in 1949, for example. The temperature got very close to 30 degrees over the Easter in 1949. So these things do happen. But certainly it is a very, very warm, dry, sunny Easter for everyone to enjoy this year. Central temperature is looking like this. It's on its way up big time at the moment, so it's provisional up to the 20th of April, standing at 8.4, an anomaly of 1.1 degree above average, Going to go up more, of course, over the next couple of days. It's going to get into the 9s, I think, by the time we get through to the middle of next week. But then it will probably start to fall back again as we go into the second half of next week, as it turns cooler and more unsettled as well. Sea surface temperature anomalies across the world were looking like this last week. We did last week's GWV sunny roundup. Got our 3 areas of interest. We've got the ENSO region just there. We've got the Northern Pacific up here. And then we've got the Atlantic Ocean over there. That's how things were looking when we did last week's GWV sunny roundup. This is how things are looking for this week's mini Sunday roundup. And let's deal with the ENSO region first of all. So very little change there. We are still in very weak El Nino type conditions. We still just about have a signature of El Nino with those warmer than average sea surface temperature anomalies through the equatorial Pacific from Peru to Indonesia. But certainly not gaining in strength. They are probably weakening ever so slightly at the moment, week by week, as you would expect when you're into the Northern Hemisphere spring. I'm going to be doing the ENSO update on Friday, I think. It's coming Friday. That's when we'll do the ENSO update. In the northern part of the Pacific Ocean, looks like things are warming up a little bit up there. Very little change. I think they have warmed up a little bit over the past week. And then in the Atlantic Ocean, again, that's how things were looking last week in the northern Atlantic Ocean. Oops, that's gone through there, so let's go back to there. So that's how things were looking last week in the northern Atlantic Ocean. This is how things are looking now. Perhaps a little bit of warming has taken place in the northern Atlantic. So we do have these colder than average sea surface temperature anomalies to the south of Greenland. But I think overall we have probably seen a slight warming occurring in this northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. Tropical Atlantic might be starting to warm up a little bit as well. But very little change really over the past week. Both of the oceans, the Pacific and the Atlantic, are looking very, very stable at the moment. Right, had a little preview of this, didn't you? So this is the Arctic Oscillation Observed and Forecast chart. So the black line here tells where we've been with the Arctic Oscillation. The red line's at the end, where GFS ensembles are forecasting the Arctic Oscillation to go. Remember, it's just an index that's reflecting the atmospheric state. It's not driving anything, it just tells you what the atmosphere is doing. So back in sort of February, March time, we had a really strong positive Arctic Oscillation. We went negative, though, with the AO through the first half of April. We're back to positive again now. That's where we are right now. GFS ensembles for the next week forecasting the Arctic Oscillation to stay in positive territory. But it's going to week 2, which just takes into the early part of May. Just a few signs that the Arctic Oscillation is beginning to drop again then. So possibly early May we'll see us going back more towards blocking. Remember, when the Arctic Oscillation is negative, you're going to have high pressure within the northern latitudes like Scandinavia, Greenland, or possibly over the other side of the North Pole, on the Pacific side of the North Pole. When the Arctic Oscillation is in its positive phase, so you have low pressure up over the North Pole. So at the moment we're positive with the Arctic Oscillation. We've lost the northern blocking signal that we had through the early part of April, but just a few hints there from the AO forecast from the GFS ensembles that we might start to see the Arctic Oscillation shifting back to negative. Signs of blocking maybe through the early part of May. This is the NAO observed and forecast chart. So again, same idea. Black line shows where we've been with the NAO. Red line said the M, where GFS ensembles are forecasting the NAO to go. Really positive phase of the North Atlantic Oscillation right way through the winter and well into the spring as well. We did get a few days of negativity of the NAO through the early part of April, but very quickly it went back positive again. That's where we are right now, really positive with the NAO. And if anything, it looks like we're going to see the NAO dropping back towards neutral as we go towards the end of April and the beginning of May, but still on the positive side of neutral. So there's still no sign of a really fundamental shift into a negative NAO. We did think back earlier this month, back in the early part of April, we did think that we might be seeing a fundamental shift in the NAO going into its negative phase. It did go negative for a while, for a week or so, but it turns out that that wasn't really a fundamental shift in the overall pattern within the North Atlantic. So we still wait for this prolonged positive phase of the NAO to come to an end. We've been in this since the beginning of the winter. The last extended period of negative NEO condition was actually back in the autumn, back around October and November. So nearly 6 months now with this positive NEO. Eventually it will run out of steam, but at the moment it does look as though it continues, albeit going closer towards neutral as we get through to the beginning of May. Changes are on the way from this warm weather, so if you enjoy your spring weather, warm, dry and sunny, do make the most of the next 2 or 3 days, because things will be going downhill rapidly, actually, through the course of next week, as we can see from the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. We're looking at Manchester today, so the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Manchester. Obviously, the next few days going to be warm. The rest of Easter, we're in for more very warm conditions, and usually so for the time of year, and almost completely dry as well. It could be a thundery shower breaking out tomorrow afternoon, but generally it's dry through the rest of Easter. But increasingly through next week, we see the precipitation spikes coming back. This is Manchester, so it's one of the wetter places in the country, but it does tell us that as the temperatures are dropping there through next week and returning to average, so it's going much more unsettled as well. So clearly some big changes are on the way to the overall pattern, because we're going to lose the warm and dry weather that we got for this Easter, and we're going to go something a lot cooler and also a lot more unsettled, as we see from the drop in the temperature part of the ensemble and also from the return of the precipitation spikes. However, temperature anomalies from the 21st through 29th of April are going to hold up okay, but the week from the 21st to 29th of April going to be warmer than average, a bit less so than we've seen on these charts over the past few days, but still solidly above average. But look at that, that's a change. Precipitation anomalies from the 21st of April to 29th of April coming out ever so slightly above average now for England and Wales, and perhaps a little bit more substantially above average for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Remember, these are probably going to trend even wetter over the next few days, and we'll probably see those temperature anomaly charts tending to drop even more. So they'll probably go cooler, actually, these charts, over the next few days. We'll look at them again on Tuesday. I expect they'll look somewhat cooler and wetter, these charts, when we get through to them. This is how the GFS midnight run was looking for Wednesday, so this is when the breakdown is taking place. There could be some thundery showers sparked off in the southwest tomorrow, and more widely in the west perhaps on Tuesday, but the real breakdown takes place overnight Tuesday into Wednesday as a weather system pushes up from the southwest, brings a band of heavy, maybe thundery rain northwards and eastwards across the country, and then obviously we're going into a much more unsettled spell of weather the second half of this coming week, with low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic into next weekend. Stays unsettled, low pressure to the north of Scotland, bringing wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic. And we keep this unsettled weather going up towards day 10, and increasingly heights rising over Scandinavia as well. So not only unsettled as we get through to the end of April and the beginning of May. This is the 1st of May, so it's day 10. We're turning wind into the north, so becoming colder as well as quite unsettled as we're ending April and going into May. That could bring a return of some night frost. A lot of people have been reporting to me that they're being plagued by wasps. Seems to be lots of wasps around at the moment. I suspect this is I don't really know anything about wasps, but I would suspect this is a leftover legacy from last. So we had a very hot summer last year, of course. We had a mild winter as well, very mild winter, wasn't all that much in the way of frost or snow. And so the queens, these are primarily going to be the queens, I think, the wasps that people are being attacked by at the moment. They're coming out of hibernation, but there's a lot of them because we've had a very hot summer last year and a mild winter. So if we want to get rid of some of these wasps, what we need is a late cold snap. That could be it, actually. Those winds going into the north, that could get rid of a few of those wasps. But of course, it's a long way off that. It's day 10. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. As we go beyond that into the extended range through the first week of May, high pressure remains out to the northwest, so it remains quite a cool pattern, this, pulling in the wind from the north or northeasterly direction. It's relatively dry because heights are still quite high. There will be showers in the east, I suppose, but it's a relatively dry pattern. The Atlantic is blocked up, but we're on the cold side of that ridge, pulling in the wind from a northeasterly type direction. So fairly chilly, but probably fairly dry through the first week of May with that particular GFS extended run. This is the GFS parallel run, and again we've got wet weather moving up from the southwest on Wednesday, bringing a breakdown to this Easter heat wave, and then we go through into second half next week, looking really quite unsettled indeed, heading up towards the end of April into the start of May. Well, again we've got this idea of high pressure building over Greenland and Iceland, so a blocking feature is getting itself going to our north. That would drive the NAO and the AO into negative territory, I would have thought, by the way. At day 10 it looks like we're turning wind into the north again, so signs once more of an early May cold snap, and that takes us through the first week of May. Northerly winds blocking area of high pressure around Greenland and Iceland, so it looks pretty chilly there. I would suspect there's going to be some cold nights, certainly. Wouldn't totally rule out a chance of wintry showers across the north of Scotland. Just looks rather cool and a little bit more unsettled compared to the operational GFS run. We are keeping these areas of low pressure going. I suppose it's because the block is at much further north and west. So the operational GFS has the high pressure centred just to the northwest of Scotland, whereas the parallel has it centred around Greenland and Iceland, true northern blocking. And so that allows low pressure to come in underneath it. So it's a cool and unsettled pattern through the first week of May with the parallel GFS run. I have to say these aren't particularly good signs for the first week of May. It does re-emphasise that if you enjoy your weather warm and dry and sunny, do make the most of the next couple of days. ECMWF, again, we're driving in those areas of low pressure from the Atlantic through the second half of the coming week. Looks really quite unsettled indeed. Heading up towards day 10, staying unsettled, but again, it's that idea that high pressure is building around Greenland and Iceland. It's turning winds into the north potentially as we go through into the opening days of May. We are in that northerly wind. That's the 1st of May, actually, day 10, as far as we can go with the ECMWF is bringing in those cold northerly winds, and again I think that will give us night frost, certainly. So that's quite damaging, of course, when you get through to the start of May. And you wouldn't totally rule out chance of wintry showers up in the north as well. That is quite a strong blocking area of high pressure that we've got across Greenland and Iceland there. So I'm just going to pause the video there. I haven't got the ensembles up from the ECMWF at the Icelandic Met Office, actually, so I've just realised that. So I'm going to pause the video there, get those up so we can see how well supported that northerly is that the ECMWF operational run is going for at day 10. So I'll pause the video. I'll see you in around 2 seconds. Alright, we're back, and we've got those charts up from the Icelandic Met Office, so we'll have a look at that next. So these are the options that are on the table within the ECM ensembles today from the Icelandic Met Office. This is showing me scenarios for day 10, which of course is the 1st of May, May Day, and we've got 22 members of the ECM ensembles that have an area of above average heights to west and northwest of the country, below average heights to the east. So they look pretty chilly. That's kind of like what the operational ECM run is going for. Bring wind in from a northerly direction. Now we've got 19 that have even stronger heights towards Greenland, genuine northern blocking for the 1st of May, day 10, and a deeper trough to the east. So they also are pretty cold and pretty unsettled. They're bringing the wind from a northerly direction. I do say cold rather than cool because that's really quite a long fetch northerly that we've got there. That includes both the control and the operational ECM run. And then there's 10 that's a milder scenario. They do have sort of northern blocking up towards Greenland, but low pressure is centred as a trough over top of the country, and so the winds are coming up more from the south-southwest. However, there's only 10 of those. If we take the 22 that we've got just here, this scenario, and the 19 just there, it does look as though actually a fairly cool or maybe quite cold start to May is possible here, can you believe, after all of this warmth that we're having over east. It's a fairly well supported scenario within the ECM ensembles. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This is the 6th of May, so we've got 16 members of the ECM ensembles that revert us to a westerly with high pressure to our south, low pressure to the north and west, so they're milder. They're bringing in westerly winds. We've got 13 with high pressure out to the northwest of the country. They're bringing down cooler northeasterlies, but mainly dry scenario. There's 13 with a ridge through the country. They're a drier, milder scenario. They're bringing up the wind from sort of a southwesterly direction. And then finally, there's 9 that still have that blocking feature over Greenland with low pressure to our east. They're still quite cool, maybe cold and unsettled. So as we go through the first week of May, it does look as though these ensembles want to revert us to something rather milder. But certainly for the opening day or so of May, this could turn out to be quite a cold couple of days actually early in the new month. Finally, CFS V2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 21st through to the 27th of April. The coming week looks unsettled now. We're breaking down the high pressure. We've got below average heights coming in from the Atlantic. The ridge is pulling back to our northeast. Jet streams going like that. So that's certainly a more unsettled week coming up. Week 2, there's that northern blocking feature. This is the 28th of April to the 4th of May. High pressure from Greenland over towards Scandinavia. So high pressure a long way north. We could get some low pressure coming in underneath it. That could be quite cool and unsettled. We might pull down northeasterly winds with that. Week 3, all change again. This is the 5th to the 11th of May with a high pressure event over the top of the UK. That's a drier and warmer week coming up there. And then week 4, more changes. This is the 12th to the 18th of May. The high pressure becomes centred to the south of Greenland then. Low pressure underneath it. That could be rather cool and unsettled. You could pull down northeasterly winds. And it does look a little bit more unsettled as well. Temperature anomalies in the week ahead still coming out warmer than average. 21st, 27th of April. But week 2, 28th of April to the 4th of May is a colder week. Below average temperature anomalies. Their week 3 is warmer than average again, so really up and down with temperatures as we're going into May. Week 4 still a bit above average. This is the 12th to the 18th of May, still a bit above average, but cooler compared to week 3. So really up and down with temperatures, and there is a chance of quite a chilly start to May, to say the least. Finally, this is how May is looking with the CFS V2 700 millibar height anomaly today, going overall for a rather anti-cyclonic month. High pressure centred almost over the top of the country. We'll be bringing in easterly winds, lots of dry and fine weather there. And after chilly start, probably temperatures becoming warmer. Right, that's it for your GWV's mini Easter Sunday roundup today. Sorry we couldn't fit in all of the regular features, but of course we just have got so many updates going on today that I wanted to do a little bit of a shorter one. And by the way, the solar tracker is with Solar Sunday, so if you want to see how the solar tracker looks compared to last week, then have a look at Solar Sunday, and that's where you'll find the solar tracker. Right, the Sunday roundup will be back to normal next week, I should say. Coming up later on this afternoon, we're going to have the ECMWF and Meteo France seasonal model update. That video is ready, all ready to go. We're giving away the prize, 7 o'clock tonight. You're going to find out who has won that temperature and humidity sensor from GWV and metcheck.co.uk. And we'll have a little look at the May Day bank holiday weekend as well. The updates keep coming, so keep checking back for more. Tomorrow's historic video, finally, bank holiday Monday's historic video is going to be looking at the winter of 2017-18, and it's going to include the beast from the east. I think that's going to be quite an interesting watch. Alright, that's all for now. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the sunshine. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.